Hi everyone, hope you're doing very, very well. Don't you just love it when liars are found out? Because there's nothing more infuriating than a liar getting away with it for years. But when suddenly their lies are found out, well, as a truth seeker and as someone that's tried to do the right thing all his life, there is great rejoicement in that. And I'm wondering whether in the heavenly realm there'll be an equal rejoicing when man's lies and Satan's lies, all of it, is all found out. Will the angels in the heavens party? For this will be the day when God's name will be vindicated. I'd like to think so. I'd like to think that there'd be happy times for them, something to really, really rejoice about. But until that happens, we're still going to have to put up with a network and a mesh of entanglement and deceptions from not just humans, but from Satan's hordes. But I will live, I hope I will live, to see all these great secrets that I believe will be revealed, where all our eyes will suddenly be opened, will suddenly say, how I was deceived, how I was magnificently deceived, because the evidence will be overwhelming. Otherwise, why would the scriptures say that the world will beat themselves into lamentation and they will lament and they will think to themselves, oh, if only I had seen that before, and maybe I wouldn't have pursued an unrighteous course of action. Changing the subject back, but still using the title of Great Secrets Will Be Revealed. I've recently learned now on the Philip Schofield situation that the ITV bosses, and one of them would be Martin Frizzell, and the other's Gormley, and there's two others besides, it looks as if they've lied. Because Matthews recently, hasn't he, come forward and said that at no stage did the ITV bosses speak to him. And so what they've said now has fallen down and been found to have been complete, utter fabricated lies. For me, this has to be the end of this morning. There is no presenters now that they can bring in to save that show. It is a lame duck. And not only does the program have to go, but the bosses at the top, who have played an equal role in perpetuating a deception to the British public, they have to go. But it has to go further than that, because we have to now find out if those kind of lies are being told, then have they lied on more serious situation regarding just how old Matthew was? And if that's the case, we have to then be looking at bringing prosecution charges against those people, for they may be responsible for and facilitating the abuse of a young and vulnerable young lad. It looks as if this young lad was probably in love with Philip Schofield. Probably, I say that. And so he wouldn't have wanted to have heaped heavy coal on Philip at that early point. But since then, the relationships broke down, and there's no reason why now, if there is no relationship in place and wrongdoing has taken place, there's no reason why all of that can't come out now. That would be the most fitting thing to do, because there's one thing I don't want to witness, and that is another Jimmy Savile situation where the bosses and the executives at the very, very top knowingly try to suppress truth from coming out. And so if that is going to happen again, I'd like this time now to be the right and proper time to bring everybody in for full questioning. But it's they're not likely to want to do that. They're not likely to want to help in any investigation. So really, the only one who could probably put Schofield in his proper place right now, and if that happens to be a prison sentence looming, then so be it. And the only one who can do that, as we keep saying, is Matthew McGreevy. If he has a conscience about this, he has to look at how important it is that the truth comes out, and not to sit on that, because it's going to eat into him year in, year out. So he has to now let it all come out. And getting to Holly again, if this means that what Matthew says buries Holly Willoughby, buries her out of sight, and the rest of them who kept stum about it, then so be it. Because I'm afraid that's a natural consequence of someone who might be a revealer of truth. It means that the liars who want things to remain hidden, it means that their game is up. I certainly hope it's up for the bosses that thought it was okay to protect someone like Philip because he's their cash cow. It goes to prove that that is all that matters to them. Wealth, fortune, position, and a young person's life, how impressionable that young person is likely to be because he's sat amongst the giants of entertainment. We can't blame that young lad. I suppose any young and impressionable person is likely to have had his head turned by such a thing, by being rewarded as a runner, by being invited on stage. And now we know why he was invited on stage and why he accompanied them to all the award ceremonies. Because Philip was rewarding his young lover. He was rewarding him, and he wanted to show him off in his own perverted way. Anyway, I certainly hope that this is the end of that programme. It was absolutely abysmal at times to watch it. The only saving grace, I suppose, at times was Holly was a bit of eye candy. But hey, they'll find someone else.